Hello everyone, and welcome back at today's analysis. Now for the 36th episode, I'm going to analyze none other than the Green Goblin, the main antagonist in the 2002 film Spider-Man, and overall one of the main antagonists of the Spider-Man franchise, and later on the main antagonist of the 2021 MCU film Spider-Man No Way Home. By far one of the most famous interpretations of the character, and the only cinematic one so far. I genuinely believe that the Green Goblin, and is this version of him, it could be considered similar with the Joker from the DC, and in this episode I'm going to analyze all the information given about him throughout the films, to better understand him, in his journey from a CEO and billionaire, and a single father, to the iconic monster that he has ultimately become. Now without further ado, let's dive in. The Green Goblin started out as Norman Virgil Osborn, a simple man and a scientist, and eventually the CEO of Oscorp, as well as a single father to his son, Harry Osborn, who was best friends with Peter Parker, that would later prove to be Norman's own undoing, and to MJ Watson, who Harry and Peter both had a crush on. Eventually, by 2002, his company was about to be taken over by the corporate board, as they deemed Norman completely unfit to continue to be CEO anymore. Into one last-ditch attempt to convince them that he is fit to continue to be the CEO, he developed a powerful yet unstable serum that will enhance his condition to superhuman levels. He did so, but at a cost, as he created in him an alternate personality that embodies the darkest aspects of his character, known as the Goblin, or the Green Goblin most likely, who eventually turned him into a supervillain and plotted to kill the board in order to retake back Oscorp, take over New York. However, he did meet his eventual match, Spider-Man, which later revealed to be Peter Parker, Harry's best friend, who he tried to persuade to join him so they both can rule the city together, only for Peter to reject him and oppose him from all points of view. And now before I go any further, we all should stop and ask ourselves, is the Green Goblin evil? Now, what he is doing is definitely evil, and yet he himself is an evil person. However, it should be noted here that the Green Goblin is only an alternate personality of Norman Osborn, and not Norman himself. As Norman, he is completely terrified and horrified by all the actions made by the Goblin, and to an extent by himself, and he seeks to rid himself of this new evil persona and to reunite back with his family, ultimately showing that Norman never wanted to do anything the Goblin did, as Norman is nothing more but a genuinely good person who doesn't seek to harm anyone, while the Goblin is nothing more but a nearly pure evil monster who desires to kill and spread only death, destruction, and chaos everywhere he goes. And at the end of the day, the answer to the question is technically both yes and no. Yes, for the fact that the Goblin is evil, but no, for the fact that Norman is not evil. And in the end, the Green Goblin met his own undoing at the hands of Spider-Man, or better yet, at his own hands, as he got impaled by his own flying planner when he tried to kill Peter, and eventually leading to Harry hating Spider-Man and trying to kill him in order to avenge his father's death, as well as Norman or the Green Goblin respectively coming back as a ghost or hallucination to convince Harry to kill Peter. And although he was not agree at first, he ultimately redeemed himself and died, sacrificing himself to save Peter, and thus ending the Goblin's legacy beyond the grave. However, even this was not the end for the Green Goblin, as he got a second chance in the MCU timeline in 2024, when he tried to kill the MCU version of Peter, and successfully killed the MCU version of May Parker. And never not to mention that he also teamed up with the other supervillains from both his own universe and the Amazing Spider-Man universe as well, and tried to take over the New York City from MCU. Thankfully, he was stopped for good, and the Green Goblin was erased for permanently from Norman Osborn, finally ridding him of the evil curse that he bared for so long, and was transported back to his own universe, where he likely reunited with his family. So in the end, who was the Green Goblin? He was nothing more but an evil version of a simple man who desired to spread death, chaos, and destruction everywhere he goes. A monster that will desire to kill and do anything he pleases, wherever, no matter the cost. And a monster that could be easily considered as one of the most iconic villains in cinematic history. Thank you all for doing this new episode in today's analysis. I hope everyone enjoyed. Please don't forget to give a like and subscribe everyone, and have a happy day.
Struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.